not shelters, but stations where you can go to try to warm up. And it looks like with teens on the way, even the extended forecast as far as lows are concerned, unfortunately, we're going to probably continue to have some really cold issues out there. I think hopefully a lot of the ice probably melts by later this week, but obviously the damage done behind it probably lingers a bit longer in some cases. Live newscasts every day, 5, 6, 10 p.m. and 6:37, 7:30 a.m. In particular for your Sunday, the plan is 6:30 a.m. If we need to come on sooner because things have got bad enough.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, looks like things are working. Hopefully things are still. And our tree branches fall outside the house this evening. Luckily, they were in a safe place. Hopefully, you are as well. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon, and thank you so much for supporting us here on Mississippi Live Weather. As you can see, ice storm warnings remain in effect for most locations. Don't think you need a meteorology degree to know that. We have slippery conditions, and unfortunately, things will get worse. I can see Riley behind the scenes here saying power out in Saltillo. It's out a lot of places, unfortunately, Riley, and more places are going to be added to that list. So, again, we appreciate you trusting us to guide you through this ice storm, power out in Boonville. That's going to be, I think, the comment a lot of folks are going to be saying, unfortunately, going forward. Let's talk through our headlines here, and that is our biggest one, power outage. It's mounting. I mean, out of the corner of my eye, I see Baldwin. I see downtown Pontotoc. I see Algoma. This is just out of the corner of my eye. We're going to be talking to Gabe about that. Unfortunately, the heaviest ice is still to come. Does loom beyond this. That's part of the reason why we are likely going to continue to have some issues related to this, and in some cases issues related to staying warm for a little while in the future. Unfortunately, it's going to be rough. And we do have team coverage this evening. I am here. One of these days, I will click on the right thing behind the scenes to make this work. Okay, I'm here. Gabe, he is going to be talking about those power outages up there in Tishomingo County. Our meteorologist, Caleb Edelblut, is going to be in Oktibbeha County talking about what all is going down there as well. But I'm going to bring it back here for a moment, and I'm going to kind of go through a few other things before we dive into those main headlines there. But we are continuing again over the next 12 to add more ice. This is not over. So temperatures flirting with the freezing point now. In some cases drop overnight, in some cases go up. We have a developing low pressure center basically right overhead. And so that means that it's possible the winds could pick up a little bit more. And if I could tell you any more bad news than that before, because, I mean, 8 to 10 miles per hour, that's not much. If you get much over 10 miles per hour, and that's going to then take trees loaded with ice that are just kind of sitting there and waiting, that's when they start breaking off things. So not a good sign, not a good situation, probably the most significant icing situation since I've been in Mississippi. And Mama Justice Doppler radar, again, continuing to show, again, widespread frozen precipitation out there at this time. We'll make this a 3-hour loop. We had kind of that first heavy wave that moved on out, and now, again, kind of the next one kind of moving in from the south and west, showing that Grenada, Water Valley, again, moving there in the direction of locations up there closer to Bruce. And then more behind that, unfortunately, farther back to the south and west. And if I just for the opposite of giggles, show you, unfortunately, there's more behind that. So this is, we're more than halfway through this event, but just a reminder of just how significant it is. This will go on, I think, for a bit longer. There are thunderstorms down in the southern part of Mississippi. Again, one of those other contingencies, that potential for thunder, sleet, and freezing rain and everything else is also there. The power outages are mounting. We mentioned that a minute ago. extending back there into Louisiana. But when you look here in Mississippi, and this looks at the percentage of power outages by county, we do have some folks where I believe that they're close to the Rolling Fork area, about 56% of folks there out of power. With Providence, 44% of people in that county out there close to, both Holmes and, Carroll counties. I apologize. My brain's almost shot. I'm sure yours is as well. But look at the number of outages here. In some cases, less significant. In some cases, more, especially around the Golden Triangle. We've really kind of seen some there on the Oktibbeha County side of that, back toward Ackerman, and also up toward Eupora, and then farther north up here when we go to the northern part of the state, about 2,500 out there in the Prentiss County area now, up to 2,009. They had that down to about 1,500, and we're going to look in more detail at the specifics there as well. So I'm going to start off with our meteorologist, Gabe Maynor, who is joining us live from up there in the north part of Lee County. Thank God you still have power for now, but obviously the situation mounting for a lot of folks, and it's going to get worse, a lot worse, before it gets better.
Yeah, Matt, the numbers continue to climb as we get into our Saturday night and into those overnight hours, honestly, at this point. It's funny that folks are mentioning power outage in Saltillo. It's very sporadic outages, so kind of popping up here and there, all dependent on how long those trees can sustain that ice, how long those power lines can sustain that ice. And so far, fortunate that has maintained here in the Maynor household, but we're going to cross our fingers and hope that we can stay lucky heading into our Sunday as well. But yeah, neighbors reporting some outages, and so if we drop from on air, just know the power has gone out. So just a little precursor there. We're going to start with Tishomingo County, and this is Tishomingo County EPA letting us know those outages that have been in the area. And one of the more numerous outages that we have is the 257 reported right here. In that larger number, we get lined up right there. There you go. Right there on the northeast side of the county, just over the Burnsville area. Now, look at the amount of time that they have been without power. You see it at the top of your screen right there. We're talking 3 hours and 17 minutes. That's a good chunk of time. And folks, I don't know when people are going to be able to get out there, when crews are going to be able to get out there to fix it. And these are spread all across the county. Let me zoom in here real quick to get a better visual. We're seeing that in Burnsville. We're seeing that towards Iuka. We scroll south there towards Tishomingo and Belmont, getting some outages there as well. So in Dennis, basically, you name a town, they're dealing with some outages across the area. Tishomingo County, one of the more prominent areas, but another one that we're noting, Prentiss County, Boonville. Of course, my wife, she's a Blue Devil up there in Boonville at Boonville Middle School, and she was letting me know that folks up there are reporting to her that their power is going out left and right. So that's now spread into the downtown Boonville area. So folks that do live in Prentiss County, whether that's in the county limits or within the city of Boonville, getting those outages. And you see that number correct? That is just under 2,400 outages. And that's just in that one area. If we go south, we have 97 there. We get out of the way on the screen, but we have 97 there just south of Boonville. That's going to be south of Highway 30 as well. And then 119 towards the Baldwin area. So impacts. The two that we mentioned,